Hello and welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever. There's all kinds of family. We chose this one. This is episode 181, Tune-Up, Relap, Recap, Lap 8. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe too, and this episode is brought to you by APEXi. Founded in Japan back in 1992, their business launched from a team of Japan's top leading engineers and mechanics, and now they're developing and manufacturing top quality aftermarket parts for all kinds of cars. So shout out to APEXi.
Cool. Well, shout out to APEXi after the break. Welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever. After the break, we will be joined once again by Heather Antos, her last time until next lap, when she joins us for F9. Assuming that movie finally comes out, we will find out for sure in a month and a half or so. But after the break, she'll be back here to, hopefully answer questions. Hopefully I ask questions to her satisfaction.
Properly. Hopefully you asked the questions
Jesus
properly.
Christ. But Joe, extracurricular activities, what have you been up to since we last spoke?
I have two cool main things. One...
Oh, also, by the way, hold on. Sorry to interrupt. If this is your first time listening to a Tune-Up, Relap, Recap, if you're here for Heather or whatever, no movie today, but this is just our look back at the lap that was, previewing next lap, and just saying goodbye to Heather. So, sorry, go ahead. Go.
No, that's perfect. Makes a lot of sense. This past weekend, Rachel's parents came to visit for Mother's Day. It was good seeing them. They came and saw the new living room. They helped us get rid of the old couch, which we just had living on our deck. Put together a flower bed, bought some dirt so we can get ready to plant the tomatoes and everything that I was growing. That is super fun and exciting. It was actually just great seeing them. So we just had a really chill weekend, but spent a lot of time with them. Introduced them to Lego Masters because the new season's coming out. That's a dumb show to watch with them while we drink and talk. I'm ready for the new season. Wes told me that the new season starts in June, so...
Any word on a Brian Supra or something, like the Lego, the Technics or whatever it's called, the thing that we bought that Rachel and I built last summer? Any word on you got your ear to the ground? Do we have another one of those?
No, I haven't heard anything about another Fast and the Furious Lego set. Rachel built another a McLaren. There was another Technic set that was kind of like Dom's Charger, but for some reason it was only $50. So
okay.
So she built one of those. It's about the same size. It may be a little bit smaller, but it's like a Technics thing like that, so she built that. But no, I haven't seen any new Fast and the Furious ones. They're going to come out with new ones, right? I'm sure when the movie comes out or after the movie comes out. Once they did one, we need to know how well the other one sold. They sold 2 of them at least, but who knows how they actually sold.
What else? Anything else of note?
Yes, the only other cool thing is I'm getting really excited. Today, I told you already, I got tickets to the first Penguins playoff game.
When do the playoffs start? When is that?
So the end of the regular season's Thursday.
As in tomorrow as we record this or next week?
Yes, tomorrow is when we record this because we were waiting for some of the teams that had COVID to finish up their seasons.
Oh, right. Yes, there's a weird buffer. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Penguins finished on last Saturday, so they're going to have about a full week off. The playoffs for the Penguins should start Saturday or Sunday or possibly Monday. They're ironing it out because Pennsylvania is allowing now 50% capacity at indoor events starting Monday. If they have the game Sunday, they only get 25% capacity, but then the next game they'll have 50.
Oh, gotcha.
Get what I'm saying?
Yep.
But it would delay them, and they wouldn't have one this weekend. Either way, I bought tickets. I'm going to miss Monday of work or Monday and Tuesday, but I will go to the first Penguins home playoff game, and because I haven't been to an arena in a long time, I'm really excited, dude. So
is this the first thing you've actually done in 15 months? I haven't done anything that's even close. Is this the first event? Because I can't think of another thing that you or I have done since this all started.
No, I mean when I went to visit Rachel's parents, maybe I went to a restaurant, but I was vaccinated.
Yeah, that's not I think that's different, but
this is gonna be this is gonna be the first outdoor type thing I think that we've done in a long time.
Very cool, very exciting. I saw you sent me the the screenshot of the tickets or whatever, and I didn't think about the context. I'm like, oh yeah, of course he would go to the Penguins game. He's going home. Why not? Yeah. I didn't think about what that meant.
You know that I go to a bunch of arenas, and we were in California in February of last year, to see a couple Penguins games, literally 2 weeks before everything shut down, right? So
yep.
I haven't been to a game in over a year, so I'm really, really excited. My dad, when we went home for my dad's birthday a couple months ago, he seemed like he was hinting he wanted to go, but also he wasn't vaccinated yet. So I was like, no, I'm not even entertaining this idea.
Right.
You dummy. Wait till you get vaccinated. We'll figure it out after that. And he's double vaccinated. Rachel got her second shot today.
Cool.
She is double vaccinated. I know it won't be 2 weeks, but we'll be masked up and everything, so we should be good.
Anything else, or is that it?
That's about it. That's all that's going on for me.
So this Saturday, as we record this, or this past Saturday as this comes out, we will have recorded our first episode of How to Win the Lottery, the new book podcast I'm doing with my friend Bob. So if you want to read along books, go to Lottery Pod on Twitter. But I've been reading a lot to get up for that because there was a couple books I wanted to finish before I got to the first book we're covering. And I've been starting that. I've been also finishing another one. So I've been reading. I also watched a couple of movies. Did you watch? I don't remember. You might have mentioned on here. Did you watch the Bob Odenkirk movie, Nobody, like his John Wick?
No.
So this is a movie that came out this year that's in theaters and also on VOD, and it is one of those premium like $20 rentals or whatever. So it's basically John Wick with Bob Odenkirk, like from Mr. Show and from Breaking Bad and everything. And it's good. It was written by the guy who did John Wick.
Is it a joke? Like, is it?
No. It's actually like it's an action movie. Like he's an action star. Like that's the thing. Like he was on Comedy Bang Bang this week, and they were talking about like why he did this, and he's like, around the world, people don't know him as a comedian. They know him from like Breaking Bad, where it's like a serious, like he's kind of like comic relief, but like still a serious thing. And like Better Call Saul is more serious than Breaking Bad, and like he's in like movies like The Post, which is not comedy. Like there's probably funny stuff in there, but like he's just in a journalism movie by Steven Spielberg, right? So like around the world, where like these things are very successful, he's just kind of like this dude, actor. Right?
Yeah.
He's like, what if I did a movie that like translated well around the world? And that's action movies translate well, like as we know from the global appeal of the Fast and Furious. And so he did this movie, Nobody, and it's good. He's really good in it. My issue with it is that have you seen John Wick? I know that action is not necessarily your thing. Okay, so you know how, like, and this is not really spoilers for John Wick because this is what the movie's about, but, like, his wife dies before the movie begins, and she leaves him a dog, right? Yes. And his dog gets killed, and he's like, I need to get vengeance for this.
That's the whole point, yeah.
That is a thing that's happening to him that he has an emotional stake. This is just, like, he's kind of in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, he's looking for a fight, kind of, but just, it feels more, like, there's a whole, like, backstory that they get into or whatever, but just, like, I kind of wish there was more of a reason, like, more of a connection between him and the people that he was like fighting, you know what I mean? But it's still fun, and still, it's great to see Bob as a kick-ass action star because like he pulls it off. Like he was training.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah, he was training for years. I mean, he's in good shape, and
cool.
And then on Saturday night, I watched the movie called Shiva Baby, which is like kind of like a cringe comedy. I guess comedy, but it's also like, it kind of feels like a horror movie. So the best way, I'm just going to read what it's about because I can't describe it better than this. A college student attends a family Shiva, which is a Jewish ritual for like when somebody dies. Yes. Attends a family Shiva where she is accosted by her relatives, outshined by her ex-girlfriend, and face to face with her sugar daddy and his family. And it's so tense, really funny, and also just it's a comedy that will make you feel uncomfortable. Like it sounds like a horror movie, and it's cut like a horror movie, kind of.
Oh, interesting. I was gonna say, is it just a horror movie just because it's so anxiety driven, but it's cut like a horror movie? That's why you use that.
It's very anxiety driven, and just imagine everybody you knew in your life was at the same party and asking you why you're not successful.
So my life.
Yeah, basically. Okay. So your life, the movie. Also, your sugar daddy's there.
I wish I had a sugar daddy. I'm always full of anxiety, so maybe I should or shouldn't watch this movie.
I don't know if you would like it or not. I mean, it's one of it's more affordable rental. It's a $3.99 rental. It's not a full price, whatever. But I really liked it. It's one of my favorites of the year. Then I watched Reanimator, which is a classic horror movie from the 80s, which I thought was pretty good. And then the end gets crazy. I was like, oh, this is why people love it. Okay, cool. And then I was back on the Bond thing this week. I watched Live and Let Die, the first Roger Moore movie, which takes place, that's the one that takes place like largely like New Orleans and Jamaica, and it feels different. It's kind of a really weird Bond movie, and I still like it more than any of the Connery. Like I just don't like the Connery movies. Like I don't think this is necessarily great. Like I like the Lazenby one better, but I like this one. So
cool.
Justin wrote in and said that I would probably like the Dalton ones. I don't know. Like I just, now that we're out of the now that I'm out of the Connery era, right? Until he comes back for like Never Say Never Again or whatever that one, like the off-brand kind of one is. But I don't know. Yeah.
I love Never Say Never Again. That's my favorite one.
Is that the one? Hold on. I'm not sure if I'm saying the right one or not. Hold on. There's one that's like not canonically Bond. Yeah. Never Say Never Again like comes out like the early 80s, and it's not like in the main canon. Like there's like EOS and non-EOS. I don't know much about it. I don't know anything about the history of Bond, but it's like not like a main Bond movie. I don't know. I don't know.
I remember fucking loving it as a kid because there's like this one really, really cool part, and when you get to it, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Spoilers, there's a cool part?
Yeah, in a James Bond movie, right? There's a cool technology part in a James Bond movie
God.
that I loved as a child. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I think that's it. I've been watching Simpsons Seinfeld. So I want to talk about today's Seinfeld that I watched today because it's a
Oh,
very famous one, very highly rated one
okay. What
that
was
is
it?
both a testament to the amazing writing, but also like I was alternating like absolutely cringing at how outdated and like wildly inappropriate it feels, and also
Okay.
just how funny it is. But it's The Outing. It's the one where the NYU student thinks that Jerry and
Yes.
George are in a gay relationship.
Oh, we got her. Yeah, the double telephone.
It's very, very, very funny, and also like there's so much that just it's 30 years old and it's kind of gay
Yes.
panic. It's not as bad as the like, oh, I don't want to get a massage from a male, like from a masseur, like that was like,
That
oh,
one
this is
got
not
you. I
funny.
know.
This was like half amazing, like half really funny, and also half just like, oh god, like this should like if you made the argument like nobody should ever watch, it's gonna be like, yeah, I get it, like that, like we could just put it away. But like they're at a point now where it's funny enough that like it almost kind of makes up for it, but it's still
It feels on brand for them too. You needed to get involved in the characters enough to know their own like weird idiosyncrasies for it to like then make sense.
yeah, it's oh boy, like it's just, but it's literally half really, really, really funny and half like, oh god, why we can't do this, like this isn't, I shouldn't be laughing at this, like
Is that not that there's anything wrong with that when they keep
yes,
saying
yep,
yes, that's a very famous episode, yeah.
I also finished Made for Love, that show that I was saying about the woman who gets the chip planted in her head on
Oh
HBO
yeah.
Max. It's not sci-fi really other than that, which I think is good because it keeps that part, like that becomes like the focus. It's not like, hey, it's a world where like all sorts of crazy shit's happening. It's like this is the one thing that's weird. Otherwise, so, like it's kind of like a grounded show than that. So that's good. And then I started watching, did you and Rachel ever watch Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23?
No.
Kristen Ritter, who played Jane, Jesse's girlfriend Jane on Breaking Bad, speaking of
Yeah.
Breaking Bad, or played Jessica Jones on Netflix. She's the star, kind of. It's her and Dreama Walker, and it's really funny. It's a sitcom that was on ABC, I think, like a decade ago, and got canceled after 2 years. It's really, really, really funny. Like, surprising. Like, I thought I was going to like it, and I really do. James Vanderbeek plays himself, just as
Okay.
like former Dawson's Creek star James Vanderbeek. He's like one of the stars of the show. Dreama Walker just comes to New York, has all these ambitions. Her life completely falls apart, and she moves in with Kristen Ritter, who tries to sabotage her life, and they become friends, and just like it's their wacky antics. So it's kind of like an odd couple sort of thing. But Eric Andre's in it, like as like a kind of a relatively normal, like not Eric Andre thing. Because I know when we talked
Weird.
about
Yeah, I'm not a fan
whatever
of
that
him.
road trip one was, like it just he's kind of like a regular funny dude as opposed to like like it's a really good, well made show, and it's all on Hulu. So I would recommend,
That's
if you've
cool.
not seen that, Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23. So I think it's it's fun. There's like 26 episodes in total. I finished season 1 today and started season 2. So getting there. We have a Patreon page, toofast2forever.com. Shout out to Cassie Wilson, Jake Freer, Ben Millam, and Nick Burris, Alex Ellen, and Justin Kleiman, Brian Rodriguez of High School Slumber Party, Haley Gerbies, Wes Hampton, Christian Larson, Jerry Robinson, Dan the Duke Hayden, Renato DiDonato, and Jessica Collins, aka Montez.
Montez.
Thank you all so much for supporting us at the $5 level or above. I don't remember which number. I'll just say I think the other one was early access to the Fast and Furious minute quiz. There's the minute document and the minute quiz. So
That sounds right.
you get both of those from $1 a month or more. Plus, we got a bonus episode, which we will announce at the end of this. We got another bonus episode here in May.
We might have to change that bonus episode based on findings today, by the way.
No, that's a 6-minute short. Did you see it? It's only a 6-minute short.
Yes. Oh, I didn't see there was 6 minutes. Well, we have to
Which I
watch
think
that
we will
anyways.
do, because there's the thing that it's a part of.
Oh.
We will be covering next lap,
Surprise, surprise.
so we can do it with that, I think.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Yes, I
Right?
agree.
Like it fits in either lap. So
Yep,
yeah.
I agree.
We have the Patreon poll, another perk, the choose what we watch poll. And you guys just didn't vote. Most of you didn't vote, and then the people who did vote, like there's a tie. So we're calling a
always
veto,
a
and
tie.
we're doing a bonus
How?
one. We're doing a different thing. It's none of what was up for the running. It's just a totally separate thing altogether.
And we'll do the other things eventually.
We also have an email address, family@cageclub.me. We got a couple different things to read today, Joe.
Okay.
So first off, somebody bought 2 Cha-Cha-Cha stickers from our store,
Okay.
toofast2forever.shop. I don't know who it was because that doesn't give us any information about the person who buys it.
For security reasons, that's good.
Shout out to whoever that was. Thank you for patronizing us.
Yes.
Haley, aforementioned Haley Gerbies,
Yes.
commented on our post on Patreon about Mr. Baseball, and she said, turns out I know nothing about baseball, which I realized, Australia. Okay, yeah, tracks.
Makes
Entertaining
sense.
listening to this anyway, getting me through the workday, smiley face. So thank you, Haley. Glad we could entertain.
That's really. She said she was listening to an episode the other day, and we began by talking about cats, and she was excited.
Yeah, I think that was the most recent episode. You're like, who just got a cat? I'm like, I don't know. Haley got a cat. So,
yeah. There you go. Cats again.
Then we have, so Nick is back. As we heard last episode, Nick wrote in a couple times. So Nick sent in 3 different emails that I'm going to read all together. They're 2 very short and 1 medium length. So here we go. First one, subject line, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Birthday to the January babies, including me, and happy number 150. Happy Valentine's Day, Happy St. Patty's. I got this in before Mother's Day, so happy to that too.
Perfect. Happy birthday to you in January. Congrats. Happy birthday.
I think he said the 14th, so
Ooh, nice.
You know, we're coming in on the 4-month anniversary of your birthday.
Yeah, everybody celebrates that good 4-month birthday anniversary.
Yeah, you're almost however many years and a third. So cool.
Exactly.
He says, I will try to skim my notes. In the first movie's final crash, Dom gets wrecked by a semi leaving the port. Little ironic. Maybe he got the idea when he was growing up and racing there to hijack the trucks. Ooh. I always thought he said, that's how I would have mine, meaning if he had the RX-7, well, it makes more sense the other way.
Okay.
He's jacking trucks and then gets hit by a truck. There is the irony there. I think that's a good point.
Yeah, it is. And they just missed the trainee too, so it's double. Yeah.
He says, love monster trucks. You guys should check out Walker Wheeler Jr. My car picture was funny and worth the wait. Anyway, 4-H out, Nick. Nick, one of the 4 horsemen. Back when we had 4 $10 patrons, he's one of the 4 horsemen. So, yes. So, Monster Trucks, Walker Wheeler Jr., 4 horsemen out, Nick. Well, thank you, Nick.
I want to go to a monster truck thing. Now this shit's opening back up, we need to go to, the next big one and report live from Gravedigger's lair.
Sure. Next email. I emailed him back because there's a picture in here that did not send. So I said, hey, can you send this? And he has not gotten back yet. So eventually we'll have another picture. But found these at Cracker Barrel. Well, Allison found them. Got to give her credit. Not a fan, but she knows me. LOL. She's seen most of the movies anyways. Later, guys. 4-H Nick out. So something she found at Cracker Barrel. Fast and Furious related. But I don't know what it is yet. So we will stay tuned. So that's a little bit of a tease. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either. I just saw a commercial for Cracker Barrel. Have you? I've never been to one. Ever in my life.
I have. Mixed results.
Okay. I just have never been to one. I don't even know where one is.
There's one by me growing up that I went to a couple times that was pretty good. And then I went to one, when I drove out for your going away party in Pittsburgh, my friend and I went out there, we stopped at one and we both had a disgusting meal. And I think it just might have been like that Cracker Barrel. It's a chain, so it's going to be relatively the same everywhere, but also different everywhere. We were both like, this is the wrong set. Like the one by me growing up was always pretty good, but I don't know.
Okay. It happens.
And then the final email Nick sent, no subject line, I don't like olives. Cool. Okay.
That's it.
Yep. So, cool.
Jenny, write that down. Pull over and send us an email about Nick not liking olives.
And our last email today from Justin Kleinman, subject line, Too Fast, Too Night. He says, just got back from the theater. Yes. God, I love Too Fast. So much fun. I don't understand how people don't love it more.
I agree, Justin. I think it's so much fun, dude. And you get Bilkins, which you sent us a nice picture of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you can beat it, man. That's awesome.
This is my favorite little thing I caught at the end. There's a police officer taking a statement and writing notes in his notebook. Not only can you tell that he needs to open the pen, but the notebook is already full of writing. He's just pretending to scribble over it. So funny.
I wonder what note. It had to be set directions or something, right? Just hand him a notebook and here's a pen.
We'll find out eventually.
Oh yeah, we will get to that minute. You're right. We are doing that thing.
Can't wait for 3 Fast next week. My friend, who I've been going to the movies with, lived in Japan for many years, and his wife is from there as well. She's excited to go with us. He told me on the way home tonight they rented a home from some mid-level Yakuza guys while they lived there. Ooh, cool. Very cool.
That's a cool story. I like that.
Well, thank you, Justin. That was a very cool update. Please keep us in the loop about your F&F adventures.
I'm getting, now with, the Penguin game, I'm getting antsy to go see F9 and go as a crew.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what that's like, but, yeah, coming soon.
Somebody I was talking to said you can pre-order tickets for it, and I was like, well, we, usually get, a bunch because we sit together, and are they selling pre-tickets for it? I don't even think that they are, right?
I don't know. I got to look, because I haven't opened my AMC app in
years.
A year.
Yeah, literally a year. Yeah.
Let me take a look while we're on here. Friday the 25th?
June? That's
Thursday the 24th, maybe? Thursday the 24th. Sorry, no showtimes found. Hang on. See a movie. Man, I forgot how terrible
this interface was.
F9, reminder set. Okay, so I have a reminder set if it actually sends me a push notification. The opening date is displayed. Yeah, they're not on sale yet, so...
Okay, cool.
We'll keep on it. We'll keep on it. If you hear anything about it out there, email in family@cageclub.me. That's all the emails for today, though.
True.
So family@cageclub.me. If you want to say hi, send us a note. We'll read it on the next episode, whenever that might be. Next episode is next lap. Can you believe it?
I can't believe we got through this lap. That's crazy.
Crazy. Joe, on the streets, news about the Fast and the Furious. Anything you have seen, you have heard about in the last week?
No, Matt sent me an article today that was like one reason why every Fast and the Furious is the best Fast and the Furious.
Oh.
That's not really news. That was just like some, Screen Rant clickbait type thing. So,
we talked a couple Entertainment Weekly articles last week. They got Ludacris on one of their podcasts this week. Like, there's just more stuff like that. Like, if you just want to read about people's experiences or whatever, which is cool. But again, yeah, no actual updates, no news or anything like that.
yeah, we're getting there. We're getting close.
I don't think we get another full trailer, but we get like another teaser. Like, there's probably more footage to come if people want to. Like, I still haven't seen trailer 2, but like, I'm guessing.
Wasn't there? There was the extended thing that after the preview of 8 on whatever.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I think that might have been 6 minutes long. Was it 6 minutes or 3 minutes? I can't remember. But either way, it's longer than the trailer, and the trailer was already like 2.5 minutes.
Well, the first trailer was like 3:51 plus the second
Yeah.
trailer plus this. So like, there's probably close to 10 minutes out there. Again, this movie might be 3 hours and 8 minutes. Who knows? We don't know. I don't know.
We don't know.
No Young Rock, because Young Rock's over. Young Rock is coming back, but no Young Rock episode. So let's just go right into the Fast and the Furious minute 10 of Too Fast, Too Furious. A minute I called Get Out the Way.
I told you weren't gonna pass me.
In this minute, the race continues. Slapjack maintains his early lead as Brian jockeys for position. Meanwhile, Suki tries to overtake Orange Julius, and that's all that happens. It's a race minute.
That's literally all that happens.
So what did you see? What did you find in this minute?
We got the shot that I've been talking about of Suki's dashboard screen. We'll just call it a screen. I think it actually is a television. It's a Panasonic screen.
Probably like 6 inches, did you say? Like, it's in that ballpark.
Yeah, it's 6 to 8 inches at the most, right? Like, it's not very big. It's smaller than an iPad mini. It says Suki on it. It has one number that moves, one number that looks like it's probably static but has decimal points.
Okay.
And they're all right around 100.
Are these supposed to be speeds, or are they like
I can't
performance
read
percentages? Like, what would you guess if you had to guess what these actually were supposed to be representing? Or they're just like, hey, throw numbers on there. People like numbers.
I think that the sides are like labeled in Japanese.
Okay.
So I don't know what they're supposed to be.
Okay.
I think that the one that starts at like around 85 and goes up to like 105 is supposed to be speed.
Okay.
Like the main one, because that's like the main one. So I think that one's speed. I don't know what the other two are supposed to be, and they don't change, and they're just like at 100. I was kind of confused by that. The other cool thing that I saw is on her dash, she has what looks like a Cobra radar detector. It's like a full silver Cobra radar detector that isn't on, which makes sense because the road's closed, right? So, like, why is she scared of radar and cops? I couldn't find out what the model number, and there's no way to know what the model number was. I was just going by sight, and I even, like, searched, like, silver Cobra radar detectors and didn't find it. Although Cobra is very, very popular, I always had a Valentine 1, which is the best radar detector. I miss my Valentine 1, but I don't drive fast, so it doesn't fucking matter. The other main cool thing of this minute is this is the minute where they pass American Airlines Arena while there's literally no one else on the street, which is, as you can imagine, very, very not real.
Well, we had 2 crews closing roads, so maybe they did a great job.
Yeah. Nobody drives down Biscayne Boulevard right in front of American Airlines Arena at any point in Miami.
Hey, man, the Heat are out of town. I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. Actually, here's a question. Do we know what time of year any of these movies take place? It just feels like summer. They're all just summer because they're all just sweaty.
I was just going to imagine that they're all at Christmas, but they're just in hot places. They're just all Christmas movies.
Maybe. I mean, we talked about that recently with Heather, right?
Yeah.
We want a Christmas. I don't know. But like, there's nothing seasonal about any of these in any regard, is there?
Nope. No indication of anything.
Cool.
Like if they're in London, it's rainy. If they're in Miami, it's hot. If they're
This is
in
London, baby.
If they're in Rio, it's hot. Like it's just like whatever
Abu
season.
Dhabi, hot. LA, hot. Miami, hot. New York, hot. Russia, cold.
Yes, exactly.
But also summer.
So from the shot of American Airlines and the shots in the movie and the shots on the thing, if you click that, you can see exactly where they turn.
Yep, saw that.
Pull the e-brake, and they are driving down Biscayne, and they make a left onto Northeast 8th Street, a place that I've actually been on both of these streets next to American Airlines Arena. Yeah, whoa. So I was already there. Do you have
I have a trivia question. I don't love this. I think we could do a thing about the arena, although I wouldn't say like we could do like what local, like what significant building or what building of importance do they like drift by or something?
That's a good one. And it could be like Miami Courthouse.
The waterfront. We got to think about that. The question I have right now is what does the avatar on Suki's in-car display do during the race? And it growls, and then she growls.
Yes.
But I've cry, growl, put up a peace sign, or smile. I don't love that question. I think it's okay. I don't want to do, like, what's the name of the arena? Because, like, that's just trivia about Miami, not trivia about the movie.
Yes, I like the way you phrased it. Like, what landmark do they pass?
We need other, Are you Googling Miami landmarks? Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
So we have American Airlines Arena. We could say the waterfront.
We could say the
Wynwood Walls. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Actually looks pretty cool.
That does look pretty cool. And how about the Vizcaya Museum and Gardens?
Actually, I'm going to say the Bayside Marketplace. Instead of the waterfront, I'm going to say the Bayside Marketplace.
Okay. World Erotic Art Museum.
What significant Miami landmark do the racers pass while racing? American Airlines Arena, the right answer. Bayside Marketplace, World Erotic Art Museum, or Wynwood Walls.
That's good. And kind of an easy one, but that's good. I like that.
We got lots of time to have more Suki questions.
Yes, we do.
We just make a quiz where every question is about Suki. What do you think Suki's doing in this minute that she's not in? Drawing, drinking, sleeping with someone.
Playing cards.
Cool. 10 minutes, 10 questions. Getting there. Joe, let's take a break. So what we're going to do, here's the timeline. We're going to take a break. You and I are going to come back. We're going to look back at lap 8, look ahead to lap 9, then we're going to take a second break. Almost an unprecedented second break.
2 breaks?
Although last time, if you remember, the lap 7 relap recap was like a 3-hour episode because we did all that. We looked back at like our 60 episode lap, or remember, because it was like double episodes. We said goodbye to Nico and Keva. We said hello to Heather. It was like this crazy long thing. So we're going to take a break here. It's going to be a shorter episode than that. Take a break. Look back at lap 8, look ahead to lap 9, take another break, do Heather stuff, and then say goodbye to everybody. So let's do a quick break here, come back, look ahead, break, Heather. See you next week.
Episode number 181, the Tune-Up Recap Relap. This episode's brought to you by Apex Eye, and one of the products they conquered and standardized was the N1 muffler system. It was the first of its kind to incorporate the classic angled muffler design with maximized performance that had become familiar with today's street cars. Shout out to Apex Eye.
Well, shout out to Apex Eye. Welcome back to Too Fast, Too Forever. So, Joe, lap 8, the Tokyo Drift lap, the second lap that we've had so far that we thought was going to include F9. It did not. Next lap hopefully will, but we're like, okay, cool. We know that F9 is going to be all about Tokyo Drift. We got all these characters coming back. It's going to be the perfect time. Let's focus on this, get everybody excited, and then go right into F9. And then, nope.
Pandemic. Twice.
Whatever. So instead, we just did a bunch of stuff about Asian cinema and Asian directors and Asian actors.
Justin
Lin stuff. And so I think it was a really cool lap. Like what I appreciated most about this lap is that last lap when we did the missing pieces lap, like the classic car movies and the missing pieces lap, the Michelle Rodriguez, like there was a lot, like we did the 2 a week and there's a lot of good stuff that we could cover.
Yes.
But by condensing and making us sort of choose, I feel like it elevated the content, like the average, quote unquote, average movie that we watched each week.
I think so too. We watched a lot of deep cuts. You know that I love these like old kung fu movies. Getting to do Shogun Assassin was great. It was curated very, very well, which is a lot of credit to you because you usually chop down the lists when we go through like what we would like to do, what we'd like to see, what we'd like to talk about. I think this honestly might be one of our best laps, just content-wise. We got this, the nice interview with Ms. Boswell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the interview was awesome, and also this is the lap that we kicked off the Patreon bonus episodes, so giving a little bit of extra value to those people over there.
The Brian, the sexy
paywall.
microphone episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are always a blast. And we got to do a ton of fun movies, like all over the gambit too, but they all kind of felt like they did fit the theme really well. Like sometimes we throw in a couple that are like, but like...
Well, it's hard to pick like 40 classic car movies.
Yes.
Like, oh, like car chase movies. Like it's not really a car chase movie. Like there's a car chase in it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Better Luck Tomorrow was good that we finally covered that. We've been talking about that basically since the beginning. It was good that we covered that.
Fits into the canon. I agree.
We had Brian and we did a crossover with High School Slumber Party, which was a lot of fun. Then we had Tokyo Drifter with Garrett Smith, which was a blast. That weird, cool movie, which was a lot of fun to talk about.
I think about this movie a lot. I've been referencing it a lot lately.
I finally crossed off a couple personal wrongs and omissions, glaring oversights in seeing Akira and then Game of Death back to back.
Yeah. You saw Game of Death and Making the Game.
Finishing the game, yep. Mm-hmm.
Finishing the game. Sorry, I always call it Making the Game. Game of Death, fucking awesome, right? And the bonus, the Bruce Lee version of Game of Death, like the actual uncut version that I had never seen before either.
Groove.
That line is so good. I use the word groove a lot more since we watched that.
I also skipped over. We had the 2 bonus episodes in January, February. We had us taking the quiz, the first quiz, which was a fun episode, just kind of a crazy episode, and then our Super Bowl special bonus episode with Brian, Varsity Blues.
Yeah, that's true.
That was the sexy microphone episode, I think, right? Wasn't it? I think so.
Yeah, that was the sexy microphone episode.
Then we had Lynda Boyd drop by to do that interview, which was a blast.
She's awesome, dude.
Mm-hmm.
She's so cool.
I did say to you that friend of the show, Melissa Lynham, finally saw part of Tokyo Drift. She's like, oh no, like the dad messed up. I'm like, thank you. And you're like, well, we definitively know from her that it's her fault. But I'm like, well, do we?
Sean's mom admitted to it, literally. So I don't think you can really argue that, but sure, if you want to.
I don't know. Then we had a double dose of Lady Snowblood, 1 on the main feed, 1 in the bonus. Also, by the way, if you join the Patreon now, you get access to all these back bonus episodes too.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
true.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Get those. Lady Snowblood 2, Love Song of Vengeance. That was a fun week. That was, ultimately all leading up to Kill Bill, but we're like, oh yeah, she's badass, and yeah, I can see why, he lifted the entire fight for the O-Ren fight.
Exactly. And as much as like we were kind of leading up to Kill Bill, all of these things still fit. We did a masterclass of getting ready for Kill Bill. You could have put these all together and been like, this is making a Tarantino movie, right?
Yep.
Like, this is where we got to.
Then we did, we did 3 episodes of Community that Justin Lin directed, which I think was a blast. Did you guys ever watch more Community, or did you stop after we stopped?
We finished through, like, the next season. I think we finished through season 2.
You watched the full season 2?
I think so. We got through most of it. We watched a bunch of episodes at a time for a bunch, yeah.
The 3 that we watched were all in season 1.
Yeah.
So if you guys went beyond that, that's pretty cool. Because I know you guys stopped doing Lost after we stopped doing Lost.
Usually I get caught up in reality TV, so.
I mean, there's not enough hours in the day to watch all your bullshit.
90 Day Fiancé are 2-hour episodes once a week. And that's just for one of them. Let alone like when I start running them concurrently and you got like 90 Day the other way, before the 90 Day. You can get 6-7 hours deep a week in 90 Day.
6-7 hours a week? Well, who's running that show? Brian Rodriguez? Then we had our bonus episode. Speaking of Brian Rodriguez, we had our Mr. Baseball opening day special.
And Gung Ho, right?
But yeah, Mr. Baseball and Gung Ho basically back to back with Furious 7 in between a couple Brian episodes, the 2 movies that he was very passionate about, that he picked one and then, strong-armed us into the other one. But a couple good episodes.
Gung Ho was a good movie. I'm glad that... And I found out later that a guy that I know was in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Very, very cool. As like a little kid, right?
Yeah, because it was, 30 years ago. He was a small child.
And then we had our 3-episode crossover spectacular with Mike Manzi, Shogun Assassin, Lone Wolf and Cub, whatever, Baby Cart to Hades, I think was his episode, then Baby Cart in Peril on our Patreon bonus episode. So we did 5 movies, right? Yes, 4 Lone Wolf and Cub plus Shogun Assassin over 3 episodes, which was cool.
Yeah, I'm glad I finally watched Lone Wolf and Cub, even if it was, as of right now, the first 4. It was very good to see those finally for me, so I'm glad that we got to cover those. And
we got 2 more. I don't know if we're going to cover them on the show or not, but I'm definitely going to watch them. We'll see how it shakes out, because next we got like the bonus episodes planned out for next lap, and there's like, we can always do another bonus, but like right now we got cool stuff lined up that has nothing to do with, it's different theme, different bonus episodes, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Who knows? I'm definitely going to watch those 2. And then we also did our bonus episode of our bonus TV show, Fast and Furious Spy Racers Mexico. Good to have Nico and Kevo back talking about the latest season, maybe of 7, season 4 of 7 of Spy Racers.
I'm always glad to talk to Nico and Kevo, so it was good to have them back before we got to 9. Glad that we got to talk more about Spy Racers and where it's going, because it seems like it is going. Possibly 7 seasons worth of going. It was fun. They seem like they're taking their own direction now, so that's cool.
They can go their own way.
Spy
just like
Racers.
Fleetwood. That's what Fleetwood Mac sang about. It was Spy Racers. They were just prescient. They were early to the Spy Racers game. So yeah. And then this week as we're recording our double dose of Kill Bill 1 and 2, which again, when we did Death Proof, we talked about this on the Kill Bill episode, but we did Death Proof a couple laps ago. We're like, oh, this is like, we did in the middle of the lap. And I'm like, maybe you should have done this as like a masterclass at the end, which is why, structured the lap the way that we did. But we had Kill Bill at the end, so we could be like, oh, this is Shogun Assassin, this is Lone Wolf and Cub, this is
Lady Snowblood,
this is that, this is whatever, right? So
exactly, yeah.
Always
and
fun to see those
Justin
again.
Lin is a fan of Tarantino.
Yeah. I was trying to think of can we cover all of his movies on different themes? Like some of them are easier. Like we could do a heist lap and then do the Reservoir Dogs.
Yes.
Do Reservoir Dogs then. True. We could do another crime lap and do Pulp Fiction. But other movies like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Jackie Brown. Well, Jackie Brown's crime, but they're tougher. Like Django, Bastards are kind of tougher to fit in unless we do I don't know.
The Marilyn Manson lap.
I don't think we're gonna do it. I mean. No?
Lap 732. The Marilyn Manson lap.
Oh, boy.
Charles Manson. I keep saying Marilyn.
And then here we got the tune-up relap recap. Next week, we got the Fast and the Furious kicking off lap 9. But before then, our bonus episode, only to our patrons. This will be out for you guys in a couple of days and out now, probably, as you hear this on the main feed. We are doing a movie that I have been meaning to watch for forever. I never have seen, and I think you and I are really going to love it. I think. It is a movie from 1991 called Ricky-O, The Story of Ricky. And this movie crossed my radar because Edgar Wright, who directed the Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, World's End trilogy, he did Scott Pilgrim, he did Baby Driver.
Yes.
He's been very, he's, I think, on Letterboxd, and or maybe Sight and Sound, I don't know. He's on, movie sites. Okay. And he often does, his top 10, his top 100, his top 1,000 movies or whatever. He, not ranked, but, just chronologically. He's 1,000, here's my 1,000 favorite movies, go watch them, whatever.
Okay.
I think it was on his top 10 list or a top 10 list forever ago, back before I used Letterboxd back then. I just had a bunch of random ass shit in Excel. I was organized and still this Excel thing made no sense to me. I'm just I got lists and places, whatever.
Yeah, sheets and lists. Yeah.
I got boxes full of Pepe. At one point, I think he had his 10 favorite movies, and he had said that Ricky-O, The Story of Ricky, couldn't even be, classified on a list like this. He's this is, above number 1. Not that it's his favorite movie, but just, it's so weird and unique and special or whatever that it defies ranking. So I don't know what to expect. All I know is that Edgar Wright loves this movie. Skimming the reviews on Letterboxd of just, random people, I think we're going to love this movie, but that's coming out in the next couple of days on our Patreon feed, toofast2forever.com. So a movie I've been meaning to see for a while because there was a tie in the voting and just, apathy, more apathetic than America's passion in voting. But mostly because there was a tie. I'm just we're going to do Ricky-O. So there we go. Ricky-O is for
Whatever you want, brother. You run the Patreon polls, you run the scheduling. That's fine by me. I'll watch it.
Just like Lucy pulling the football out from Charlie Brown. Hey, here's a bunch of things to vote on. We're doing none of them.
Okay.
So that's lap 8, the Tokyo Drift lap. So lap 9, Joe. This is the lap that I will we'll talk about what it is, but this is when we emailed, because again, another perk of being a patron. Patrons knew laps 8, 9, and 10 themes
years ago,
6 or 7 months ago, like back in the fall.
Ago.
No, maybe September, maybe even September. Because I'm like, hey, we're in lap 7 now. Here's the next 3 laps. You guys get to pick 1 per lap, and then we're like, oh, we're not doing 2 a week. Here's just 1. But almost like across the board, almost everyone who got a picked a movie in lap 9. This seems like it's going to be a fan favorite lap because we are doing, as a complimentary piece to lap 6, we are doing modern car movies. Car movies that came out since the Fast and Furious has been a franchise. So car movies 2001 or newer.
I'm so excited. I got so many picks that I want to do, and you guys picked a lot of great ones too so far. And we have like some fun ones in there. Trust me, it'll be good.
We've got a lot of good ones coming up. So the first episode of Lap 9 is Tuesday the 25th, which is 1 week from today. And then we'll be alternating. So we're going to things are going to be a little bit different in Lap 9. So I hope you're ready. So not only are we going to do, like, for the most part, alternating Fast and Furious movie with Pit Stop with a monthly bonus pit stop for our patrons.
Yes.
But in June, we will do our normal when a new normal, I say, because we did this one time for the one new movie that came out. But we'll do our preview and hype episode for F9.
Yep.
And then when we see that movie in theaters, knock on wood if you're with me.
Knock on wood if you're with me. Hard Knocks should be coming out soon too, by the way.
I want to know what team it's going to be.
It should be the Jags, right? I was saying this today. Like, it should be the Jags, right?
I feel like that, maybe.
The Jags don't count, though, because it's first year new head coach is one of the disqualifiers.
Well, they can still, so the 3 rules with Hard Knocks is, like, you can opt out if you made the playoffs, if you have a first-year coach, or you were on the show in the last, 5 years, something like that. So there's, 5 teams, I think, that, can't say no.
Yes. But last year you had the Rams and the Chargers do this, wink, wink, elbow, elbow situation because they had the new stadium, right?
Right.
So you don't think that the fucking Jags want the circus of Hard Knocks there with Trevor Lawrence? Tim Tebow, them signing Tim Tebow? They definitely want this.
Who knows?
What's his name? Khan, right? Shad Khan? Is that his name? He got Urban sorry. I'm on a weird tangent. Anyways, I want it to be the Jags. Knock on wood if you're with me.
Knock on wood. Oh, right. I was like, how do we get on this tangent?
Knock on wood if you're with me, yeah.
Knock on wood, this movie actually comes out in June. We will do our preview and hype episode on the 22nd, which is the Tuesday before. You and I will record a bonus episode from the parking lot. I will have my laptop with me. We will release it before we even go home that night. Spoiler-free reaction. And then the following week, we will do our spoiler-filled review. So I'm assuming most people will see this movie fairly quickly.
If not, you can kind of hold off a little bit, right? By the time that it comes out the next week, you could see it. If not, you just skip that episode. I'm sure we're gonna talk about it, but we were pretty good about no spoilerings for a while until we got to it in the lap, right?
Right. Well, so what we're doing here, and this is going to maybe depend on how it's released, but the tentative plan as it stands right now is to alternate a Fast and Furious movie with a pit stop movie with F9 again. So if
hit the nos, bro.
This might be crazy, but right now we are scheduled to talk about F9 6 times next lap.
Which doesn't actually sound that bad. That'll get us a six little appetizer to get going.
Because the thing is, it's not just us. Obviously, the first time will be just us. Then we're gonna have Mike on. Then we're gonna have Kara on. Then we're gonna have Nico and Kevo on. Then we're gonna have Heather on, and then we're gonna have our F9 lap 9 guests.
Yes. Actual normal installment.
Lap 9 is not only the modern car movies lap, but also the road to F9, which hopefully finally will actually happen. But lap 9, F9, it was meant to be. We always knew that it should have been here.
We know that they're listening. They caused a pandemic just to get it to match up with lap 9.
They know. That's why they're not only listening, but they are
engineering viruses.
But it's going to be a good lap. It runs from, as it stands right now, May 25th to mid-November. So the end of November will be kicking off lap 10. Our patrons know what that is. If you want to get in on the action too fast, tooforever.com. Joe, any other thoughts about the lap that was or the lap that will be before we take a break and bring in Heather?
Yes, I have a rankings for you, my friend.
Oh, right. Yes, I don't, but go ahead.
That's fine. Because you're slacking, and I actually did my homework this time.
No, because what happens is I'm like, do your real rankings. You're like, I'm not doing rankings until every 5 or 10 laps. I'm like, fine, I'm just not. Okay, sure, whatever. So what's your rankings? So you ran this by Rachel because you said, I think it's hilarious, but I'm going to ask Rachel. I'm like, well, yeah, but you think everything you do is hilarious. So did Rachel think it was funny?
She chuckled to amuse me.
Oh, boy. No, okay, so that's a no. Okay, so get ready to groan.
I rank the movies from the most to the least Justin Lin Fast and the Furiouses.
Okay.
Would you like me to start from the top or the bottom?
No, start from the bottom. What's the least Justin Lin?
Fate of the Furious.
Okay.
I didn't include Hobbs and Shaw on this list either. Just doesn't feel very Justin Lin to me.
Which is interesting because Fate, I would say, probably feels more like 7 and 8 are not him, but feel more so because they're in the era where he has established the tone. But
Yep.
Okay, I'll see where you're going. So 8 is 8. Fate is 8. Okay.
7 is 4. Fast.
So the
and
7th
Furious.
movie is 4, even though he made 4.
It
you say
doesn't feel very
him.
Justin Lin. No, it doesn't
Okay.
feel very Justin Lin. It's like too dark and grimy. Doesn't feel very Justin Lin. 6th one is 7, Furious 7.
Another one he did not do. Yep.
Yeah, he didn't do it, but because of the themes of death, it moved up a little bit, right?
So you think that death makes it feel like a Justin Lin thing?
Kind of, because he killed Han, right? So, that's, yeah.
Did he?
Did he, though, actually? Yeah, okay. Then the next one, which would be 5, is Too Fast, Too Furious, because it's fun, right? So it's like colorful and fun, so that feels a little bit more Justin Lin. Next one is Fast and Furious 6, which is what's the actual title of it? Furious 6?
No, Fast and Furious 6. You got it.
That's because Justin Lin made it, and it feels like a Justin Lin movie.
Sure.
Okay, the third most Justin Lin Fast and the Furious, the first Fast and the Furious. Because I think if Justin Lin could have made the first Fast and the Furious, he would have. And I think he would have had fun making this movie based on the other movies we've seen him make. I think this will be a fun one for him.
Okay.
Number 2, Fast 5. I
Okay.
think that is a top tier Justin Lin Fast and the Furious movie. It feels like Justin Lin. It feels like Fast and the Furious. That's it. Which is the number 1 Justin Lin, most Justin Lin movie of the Fast and the Furious is Tokyo Drift. It has all of his friends in it, all of his cast from other movies that he used in other movies. It's his first one. It feels the most wacky and zany. Kills off Han and then brings him back. I think Tokyo Drift is the most Justin Lin Fast and the Furious movie there is.
Well, you heard it here, folks. The definitive ranking of what's the most Justin Lin based on the category, based on the qualification. Is it Justin Lin? It is Justin Lin. That's Justin Lin. That's basically what I heard for the last 2.5 minutes. Just it feels like Justin Lin did it, but it feels like Justin Lin, but it's not Justin Lin, so it's Justin Lin. That's number 4.
I'm glad you got it. That's the definitive rankings of that.
So 3, 5, and then what was your third one? Was it number 1?
1, yeah.
3,
Felt
5,
like
1.
a Justin
Okay.
Lin movie. Yeah.
Not bad. Pretty consensus our top 3 movies too, right? 3, 5, and 1. Not in that order, but
Well, he makes the best Fast and the Furious movie, so it would make sense, right?
even when he's not making a Fast and Furious movie, he's making the best Fast and Furious movies.
Exactly. That's the whole point that I was getting at.
Here's a question for you. Where do you think, based on the footage you've seen and based on whatever, where do you think F9 will fall on this list?
Top 4, honestly.
You think it's a pretty Justin Lin movie already?
I think it's a pretty Justin Lin movie already. From what
Okay.
I've seen that you haven't seen, it feels like it's going to be top 4 Justin Lin Fast and the Furious for sure. I don't know how it's going to be in the scale of Fast and the Furious movies, but it feels like a lot of fan service in this one for sure.
Okay. So let's take one more break, the elusive second break.
Ooh.
Bring in Heather Antos, get some answers to some really hard-hitting questions that I'm going to ask properly. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Too Fast, Too Forever. This is the relap of Lap 8. This episode is brought to you by Apex Eye. They have grown from a small tuning parts manufacturer to a multi-industry international powerhouse, and 2020 marks the 28th year for the Apex Eye Group. Shout out to Apex Eye.
Well, Heather, welcome back to the show one more time. Heather Antos is here. Hello, Heather.
Hello.
Well, one more time for now. You'll be back next lap to talk about F9, but one more time now to close out lap 8. You did it. You survived every movie.
Did it.
I really did survive, didn't I?
You absolutely did. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, y'all survived me.
True, which was, yeah, it was a lot.
I enjoyed it. I liked it.
And I know that our listeners enjoyed it too, and I think you brought a lot of new listeners over. I mean, a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people are downloading the episodes or that are, I don't think were before. The question is, will they stick around? Are they interested in our bullshit if you're not here? Questions.
Probably not.
Questions.
They better. Otherwise, I'll kill all the penguins.
Oh.
I won't. That's a lie. I won't. I would
Wow,
never.
I was going to say, that's bold. Well, Heather, we're going to do a bunch of different things here today to kind of, sum things up. But before we go any further, what are your big takeaways from this lap? I mean, you watched 9 movies with us. You did not love them all. You loved some of them, I think, or at least really enjoyed some of them. But big takeaways? What are your thoughts now that you've seen every Fast and Furious movie?
I had a good feel for what they were before I came into them and knew, like, these are fun blockbuster movies that aren't for me. And I think we've established they're not for me. But a huge takeaway for myself personally is definitely that I thought I was fairly indifferent on Vin Diesel as a performer, and it turns out, no, I really can't stand him.
So your big takeaway was that you were right that these movies are not for you and that you actually like things less than you thought you were going to.
Yep, that's about it. Oh, and
That
Jason Statham
sums up the lap, folks.
is amazing, but we all knew that.
So now, did you watch the F9 trailer, the first trailer that I sent over to you? Now, what do you think? Are you looking forward to, are you excited at all about F9, this first trailer, or are you like, another one of these movies?
It doesn't look like there's a lot of Jason Statham. So I'm kind of...
I don't think he's in it.
I don't think he's in it.
Yeah,
at all.
Mom's
Yeah.
in it. I mean, Helen Mirren's in it, so that's great. And I mean, John Cena's fantastic, but I don't know.
Can John Cena hold up the spot that Statham has in your heart is what we need to figure out.
I do not see him with a baby, so...
How do you see him at all?
With my eyes.
Wrestling jokes.
You guys told me not to watch the second trailer or whatever that came out,
I mean,
right?
you could. I didn't. We're not going to... I don't know
It's
anything
just a
about
lot
it.
of spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, y'all told me not to, and so because I didn't know which trailer was which, the Fast and Furious 9 trailer has been playing for like Hulu commercials
Yes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
for the past 2 weeks because I didn't know which was which. I would literally stop my shows because you can't skip the ads and you can't pick which ads you watch.
True.
So I
You
would
can't.
stop my shows and then start watching them again in the hopes that like the automated commercial wouldn't be Fast and Furious. So like I'm dedicated. I'm committed, guys.
I'm so appreciative of your dedication in that moment. Wow.
I did it multiple times.
You saved yourself more than anyone else here. You're the biggest beneficiary of doing that, to be honest.
Take this stuff seriously, and you told me not to watch it, so I'm not gonna watch it. Like I
well,
play
cool.
by the rules. So yeah, no, I mean it looks like no holds barred. They're really just kind of going for fuck physics and doing some really bizarre, crazy stuff. I mean. Nothing was shocking in it. The fact that I can say spoilers, right?
Of course, yeah. For the first, we've talked about that a bunch.
You know that John Cena's his brother, like.
What?
Not shocking.
There needs to be another Toretto, right? Because he already fought they went against the family, so we need more family.
Well, so here's the thing, Heather, that we're like, okay, we're watching this trailer. This comes out January, Super Bowl weekend 2020. Before we knew that, I mean, we should have known there's a pandemic because it had been going on in China for months. But
months at that point,
we were young and dumb and full of you-know-what, and we're just like, the world is our oyster. We're seeing this movie in a couple months. It's great. So Joe and I are watching this. They have an entire gala in Miami.
That's right. Yeah, they have the
this whole like
pre-show
event. They have this event where they're like, the road to F9. We're doing a concert. We're doing this interview series.
It was a live thing that you could stream.
That's ridiculous. That's too
3
much.
o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, and then it was going to air on NBC that night at 8 or 9 or whatever, and it was going to end, like this 2-hour thing was going to end with the trailer. And then there's a Cardi B concert.
Yeah.
We're watching this thing, and we're like, oh my God. Oh, wait, whoa. Dom has a brother? And then we're like, oh, Han is back. And so, like, it was like, how do you top that there's another Toretto? It's like you bring back the character everybody wanted to come back. But so we're like, this is 2 huge things that they spoil in this trailer. So our thinking is hopefully that they have crazier things they have not spoiled. Because, like, you don't want to shoot all your bullets in the first 4 minutes.
Right, you think that, right? Like that I think that's very, very valid. So I don't know, maybe it's Jason Statham with 2 babies?
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe the baby is holding Jason Statham and fighting?
Wow.
Dare to dream.
So here's a bigger question. You love that baby. The baby grows up to the kid at the beginning of the trailer. Do you think that kid, are you as invested in the kid as you were in the baby?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, just a baby.
Yeah, no, babies, which is funny because I hate babies IRL. I think all babies are potatoes. Charlize Theron got a lot of slack. People were making fun of her haircut in this one. Personally, I think it's way better than the fucking Gone with 60 Second dreads.
Sway dreads, yeah.
I was like, this looks like a sleek hacker haircut. Like this gives me girl dragon tattoo vibes with this haircut, right? Like,
yep.
I think it's cool. Is it something I would wear? Absolutely not. I think it would look great on you, Joey.
Me too.
I'm actually currently rocking that haircut, so I feel
nice.
bad that you didn't mention me.
I'm sorry. Bring it to the barbecue. Let me see it there.
Okay.
Oh, and Han coming back, like,
what the fuck, right?
Now you knew that though, like that was something that you had sort of known was a thing in the world, right? Or was that news to you?
I hadn't known, but it's also a thing where I'm just like, yeah, of course he is. like that, you know, like I don't, maybe I'm just kind of like burned from the industry I literally work in, where no one stays dead but Uncle Ben. Like he walked in and I was like, oh, he looks so much better with that haircut. Like that was my first thought.
We've gone through this so many times now, where we like killed Letty, brought her back.
Yeah.
We killed Han. We configured the timeline to bring him back. Then when they brought him back, I was like, wow, that is insane. But at the same time, like, it makes sense. Like, why not give us exactly what we want? Like, Justin Lin comes back, and I have this theory that Justin Lin pretty much just, like, reads Fast and Furious forums.
I love it.
Just writes the movie based on whatever he's reading. Like, if people are like, man, I wish I could just bring Han back, he's like, fuck it, we'll bring Han. You know what I mean? Just like, he's just giving you exactly what you want in the movie, right?
You know what show actually did that? Pretty Little Liars. So maybe Justin Lin is the biggest Pretty Little Liars fan and wants to create that in the Fast and Furious universe.
I somehow wouldn't disbelieve that.
I think there's like kind of two ways to look at this. They're either like they're out of ideas, or they're actually like this has been part of the plan all along.
No.
Because when he dies in 3, it's like, okay, we need narrative, we need weight, we need heft to this. Let's kill a character that like people are probably gonna like. And then they're like, oh, we didn't realize how much
did they really
like
him.
Let's figure out a way to bring him back for 4, 5, and 6, and then also retrofit that into like this is part of the great, like we knew what we were doing, like okay,
No.
sure, whatever. And then here, I don't know, it just, I'm optimistic, but I'm also like, it's okay to make it up by the seat of your pants if it turns out well. If it doesn't, that's a different story.
For sure. But I just like so much of this franchise feels like it's made up by the seat of its pants for me personally, that I'm just like, yeah, like that's fuck it, sure, why not? The baby's gonna fly a helicopter too, right? Like that's gonna happen.
Fuck it, sure, why not is what happens in the writing room a lot of the time.
And again, like watching that trailer, the car with a grappling hook, the bridge, you know, the fucking wooden bridge as it's collapsing, the car chain flip thing. I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. Like that's very much, it's very much people sitting in a room of wouldn't it be cool if, right? It gives me strong Mission Impossible vibes where it's Tom Cruise just being like, and I want to do X, Y, and Z crazy stunts, and then they literally make a movie around that. Like that is literally how those movies get made. There's something I really respect about that on one hand, and on the other hand, it's just like, you've spent a lot of money on this.
I don't know if you caught it because it happens very quickly in the trailer, but did you notice our favorite teenager is back?
I did not.
Sean Boswell, aka Lucas Black.
He is
back in the trailer, yes.
As a 20-year-old, I guess.
Unclear. Modern day, we've forwarded Tokyo Drift so that it takes place theoretically in 2013, so he's probably like a 28-year-old now.
Okay, so that's closer.
It's less egregious.
Yeah.
But he also looks, I mean, he doesn't look bad. Like he looks, he's aged as people age.
Yeah.
But he's closer to being like a mid-20s than he was being a high schooler at like 30 years old or whatever.
If you told me he's supposed to be playing 28, I'd be like, yeah, he's an old 28, but not like the laughable teenager situation that was going on before, which that was special.
Well, that was one thing that we did not watch. We did not see the catch the first time because there was so much other insane shit going on.
Yeah.
We're like, wait a minute, because we saw somebody else, Jason Tobin, who plays his friend, who's like basically a cutout of Tokyo Drift. We're like, is that? And Jonah like, yeah, we think so. And then people are like, you see
Earl from Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, you see Earl. We're like, yeah, we saw Earl. And people are like, you see Sean? We're like, no, we didn't see Sean. Like, Sean's not in the trailer. And they're like, very prominently in the trailer. Just
There's
like
lots of screenshots to prove it.
So much other going on. Yeah,
that's incredible. Yeah, I'll definitely have to go and rewatch this to see him. I probably didn't recognize him because his hairline's changed so much.
It has not.
Heather, I have a very important question for you.
Okay.
Who's your favorite character in the Fast and Furious franchise?
Bilkins.
You couldn't have said that
answer.
2 weeks ago?
I could have. I absolutely could have, because you did know it.
I know.
Bilkins is great. I think he's an underrated character.
Probably Tej is my next favorite after that.
Okay.
I really like Tej a lot.
Really? Okay, cool.
I was thinking when I was watching the trailer, like, good for Ludacris. Like, good for him.
Yeah.
To
Right?
like, I'm impressed. He can act. He's funny. Like, he's great. And then I just then go further back and think, originally Ja Rule was that role.
And they wanted Ja Rule back, and he's like, give me
turned
$20
it
million.
down.
And they said, no.
Yeah.
We'll get a more successful rapper.
Tej moment in the trailer, and I had an initial thought of like, that was Ja Rule.
And to think there might not have ever been a Fire Festival if that happened.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Fire Festival always would have happened. It just might not,
You mean Fire Festival always would have not happened?
Yeah.
No, it happened. They were
It
there.
did.
People went. I saw 2 documentaries about it, Heather. It definitely happened.
I definitely did.
People definitely showed up to something that didn't happen.
Yes.
True. Very, very true. Okay. So we got 3 things to do this episode. And Heather, I want you to pick your poison, what you want to do. So first off, we're not going to do a new tweet, but we're going to review last episode's tweets and see where you wound up. So that's one thing.
Okay.
We're going to get your rankings, which is the creme de la creme, maybe. Then we're also going to do the character quiz and see if you are still your boy Brian or if we can change depending on your answers. So what do you want to do first? What do you want to do second? What do you want to do third? Do you want to review Twitters?
Let's do the Twitters first, because that's the most depressing for me normally.
Okay.
Boy, do we have a podcast for you. Come and check out our show. Yeah.
Joe, you found Ishikuwu at Naija Hokage. I honestly hope Fast and Furious Spy Racers gets a live-action reboot with real teenagers. All 4 seasons have been solid, though season 3 was a little shaky, but Mexico makes up for it. And we said, we're big fans of Spy Racers too. We just talked about the newest season. Boy, do we have a podcast for you. It got a like from someone else. So I don't know who Ryan Lofty is. We follow him. It's not something we know. It's not the person you responded to, but you're going to get a point. I don't know why Ryan Lofty liked the tweet, but, Ryan Lofty, shout out to you. Point to Joe.
Thank you.
Nice.
I found Kaushik Karforma, hashtag BLM, at Kaushik Karforma, responding to Kieran, who said Luke Shaw is better than Messi, and Kaushik said, actually, it's Luke Shaw is better than Deckard Shaw is better than Messi. Haven't included Hattie, she's in a different class altogether. Speaking of the Shaws, any word in the Hobbs and Shaw sequel? Hope it's happening. I said, great news. Hobbs and Shaw 2 has been greenlit. We can't wait for it because we think Hattie is greater than all 2. Boy, do we have a podcast for you. And Kaushik liked the tweet, so I get a point as well.
Get 1 point. There you go.
Woo!
Unbelievable, our success rate here. Heather, can we go 3 for 3? I don't know what the answer is to this. You found Morgan Hendricks at Loud. Oh, I do remember this. We actually, I think, announced this on the episode last week. Morgan Hendricks at Loud, Tall, Blonde. It's already been a rough week. I didn't know I was saving it for the right moment, but it is time. The Fate of the Furious is our last installment of the franchise and now playing. And then she was live tweeting, and the tweet we responded to was, but I'm now realizing we still have Hobbs and Shaw after this. And I'm re-thrilled again. This jail fight scene is everything. And we said, just you wait, it only gets better. Boy, do we have a podcast for you. Got 2 likes, 1 from Heather, which we know
doesn't count.
Little cheating. But then Morgan Hendricks liked it as well. So across the board, we each picked up 1 point.
That's a good day.
What a way to go out.
Yeah.
Joe in the lead with 46. Joey with 34.5. And Heather on the board with 2.
Woo!
That's better than some, trust me. 2 is not a bad number. Because think of how many more episodes we have than you. Like 170.
Yeah, it's really quite sad.
It's really quite bad.
Well, we haven't done it in every episode. I think we've probably played the game about 80 times, I would say. And
Okay.
so you're averaging about half a point, a little over half a point. I'm just under half a point, and Heather's doing like a quarter of a point. So it's still not, not wildly off. I mean, it's a difficult game. Let's just leave it at that.
Very
it's a difficult
hard.
game.
People are very closed on their social media. Like, throw some likes around there, guys.
The big scoring is always at the 5-point reply. When somebody replies and you get the 5 points, it's like, yeah, that's the good stuff. That's what I've been looking for, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's what you need.
Yes.
But a couple of likes, Heather, you're on the board. That's all that counts. You get every time we do another one of these movies, you have to get another shot, so you got to find the right one. And you could, if it goes viral, which would be amazing, you could just untouchable.
You could hit 100 real quick in this game. That's the thing. Like, you could pull away to.
That's what the Drake song's about. 0 to 100 real quick. That's the BDWHAPFY. I don't know how he knew about it, but he did it. So
I saw
whatever.
this picture of Drake today that at a Kentucky basketball team meeting, and it's the team sitting there, and somebody was like, "What the hell is Drake doing there?" And I looked at the picture, I was like, "What the hell is Drake doing?" He's just sitting in this film study with the Kentucky. But I'm like, you didn't know. This has nothing to do with you. Why are you there? It was
Dude loves learning.
He's having a lovely day.
Always a student, right?
Always a student, never a bride. All right, Heather, let's find out. I want to end with the rankings. I think that's the big thing. Let's find out. So when we had you on our last Relap recap, closed lap 7, open lap 8, we did our character quiz, and you were Brian. I think you knew at the time you did not really care for Paul Walker, but I don't think we knew the vitriol that you had toward both the character and the actor. And so you being saddled with Brian as Brian all lap long is kind of funny in retrospect, to be honest.
Yes.
Yeah. It's funny. At least it wasn't Toretto, because I think that's my real. I don't care for him as character. I don't care for the actor. Brian did grow on me. Brian definitely did grow on me. But I'm very curious. Well, first of all, too, how many characters are options?
So we have,
that someone can
believe, 25. We started with 20, and then we added 5 from Hobbs and Shaw. So if you answer the exact same way you did last time, which I do not remember what those are, you'll get Brian again. That's just how it works. It's all based on numbers. The most common answer you can get is Dom. That Dom is the most common, so there's a higher chance that you are Dom than anybody else, but there's 25 different options. We've gotten probably about half of them. Some are very hard to get. Some only, show up in 1% of the results. You kind of have to pick your spots. But let's find out. Let's find out who you are now and forever. Heather, how fast are you? NASCAR, roller coaster, Lamborghini Murcielago, Toyota Prius, Vespa, or Razor scooter?
Go roller coaster.
Okay.
I genuinely don't remember what I answered last time.
That's why we wait so long.
Question number 2. How furious are you? The Hulk, Kylo Ren, Christian Bale in that one movie said that one time, Mel Gibson, Charlie Brown, or Jack McBrayer?
Go Christian Bale.
Heather, we're having a barbecue. As you know, I'm having a barbecue. How are you helping? Are you manning the grill or womaning the grill or personing the grill? Are you saying grace, kicking back with a beer, babysitting, being the entertainment, or sneaking a snack?
Oh, babysitting.
All right.
He's not my
You're going to be
boyfriend.
Jason Statham with the baby?
Well, I was going to say, he knows my boyfriend, so I'm babysitting.
Oh, him!
True.
Oh,
Tyler, did you remember your Switch? Did you remember your Nintendo Switch? Okay, cool. Okay, good job. You're doing real good, pal. You're doing a real good job today. Heather, you got time to kill. What are you doing? Are you grabbing a bite, working on your car, hanging with friends, drinking a beer, working out, or working on your computer?
Working on my computer.
I think that's the only one of these that I remember definitively. Was like, yeah,
that makes sense.
Heather.
Yeah.
Heather, describe your wedding. I'm never getting married. It's just me and my partner. It's us and our families. It's a backyard country affair. Everyone I know is there. I don't remember.
Where's the one where it's me and my dog?
That's just me and my partner. That's just you and
Yeah,
Shelly.
your dog could be your partner.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. That one.
Heather, congratulations. You just won the lottery. What are you buying? Your own garage, a private plane. You're gambling it all away. You're buying your childhood home, a fleet of cars, or a new life.
A new life.
Last question. This is
for me and my dog.
Okay.
Perfect.
You were just so you know, you were one character through questions 1 through 5, and that question changed the results. So we got one more, and this is for all the marbles because there's a lot of characters that are tightly clumped together. Heather, what's your drink of choice? Belgian ale, Corona, something fruity, water, whatever's cheapest, or I'll just take whatever you're having.
Water.
All right. Ooh, okay.
Okay.
You're a new character, or different from Brian. You're not Brian anymore.
Okay.
You are someone, this is actually a pretty common answer. You are now the fifth one of these that we had.
Ooh.
The character that you almost were, that you're one over, 1 point, how do I want to say this? The character you are has 61 points.
Okay.
The character in second place has 60 points. We've never had the character with 60 points. So you were so close to getting a brand new character. But Heather,
Ooh.
you are someone we've had before. You are Ramsey.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
You
She's
aren't
badass.
what you
Yeah.
seem like at first glance, and you often take people by surprise. Material things don't mean all that much to you because you live the best parts of your life in your own mind. Solving problems, learning new skills, inventing things. There's nothing you can't do if you set your mind to it, but that can also sometimes distract you from the world around you. Luckily, your analytical mind also allows you to quickly and accurately size up people, letting you know who to avoid and who's worthy of sticking your neck out for. Family helps keep you safe, so you help keep your family safe. And you hack or drive like the wind blows.
I think that is extremely accurate. So good job.
Cool.
And Ramsey's a cool character. That's a good character.
Yes, she's great. She's super
Shout
great.
out once again to Wes Hampton, who did our commercial and outro music, but also did the write-ups for this and also came up with the web app or the local app to do the quiz so I don't have to use a complicated Google sheet. So shout out once again, Wes. Thank you, Wes.
Thank you, Wes.
Heather, going from Brian to Ramsey, you think that's a step in the right direction?
100%.
Cool.
Okay. Good.
Nothing against Brian at all, but just also watching the movies, I'm absolutely not Brian.
You're not a terrible cop. Did we ask you that? Is Brian the best cop or the worst cop? Did we ask Heather?
Oh, yeah, you did, and he's a terrible cop.
Yeah, Heather's verbatim was awful cop.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Awful.
All right, Heather, we've teased it. We've asked you the final thing to do before we say goodbye to you. What are your rankings? Now, I know some, I pre-populated a couple of these, but I don't
Okay.
know for sure. So do you want to either, up to you, do you want to go from your bottom up or your top down? And then also let us know, did you rank the 2 short films too, or did you only do the 9 movies?
No, I only did the 9 movies because I feel
That's
like
fair.
short...
That's all I've done too.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
all
like
good.
short films like kind of are their own category
Sure.
aside from
Yep.
things.
That's fair.
So
Yeah, totally fine.
You want to go bottom up or you want to go top down? What's more exciting?
we'll go top down.
Yeah, because I think we all know you're number 1.
Do you? What do you think it is?
Hobbs and Shaw.
Absolutely not.
Really?
Yes.
It's Fate, right?
Absolutely not.
What?
Is it 7?
7,
yes.
I think.
7 is number 1, and then Hobbs and Shaw,
Okay.
Okay.
and then Fate.
Okay, so I had those
So
as
we-
your top 3.
Yeah, that
but
makes
I had
sense.
7 at 3.
Yeah.
What is it about 7 that you love so much?
The opening. The opening made it. That was the first one I watched where I was like, I don't know where this is going in a really good way.
Stay them in the hospital.
Yeah. That's a killer opening. And I was hooked and just game for anything from that point on. And it didn't stop and it didn't let me down. And yeah, all
good
in all,
choice.
my favorite. So number 4 is Tokyo Drift.
That's a really
Okay.
polarizing one.
Yeah, but
People love it or hate it. So
Vin Diesel's not in it, so
that's pretty high up.
Well, he
yeah.
is. He is. Very briefly.
we can stop before that and still enjoy the movie.
Or you can stop after that and still enjoy the movie too.
I just, that's true. You can. I can't. The concept of everything, and it's just fun. Like that movie's just super fun for me.
Sure.
And then I have F2 after that.
Bilkins. Hmm.
Yeah. My
Great
boy
choice.
Bilkins. Then I have 4.
Okay, because 4 was the first one where, like, because I think you were not, because we did 3 obviously after the fact, like after 6. But I remember
Yeah.
2, you were like, I'm still not on board. But then 4, you're like, oh, I might like these. And we're like, what now? Where is
Yeah.
this coming from? So that was, yeah, okay, cool.
Of like, oh, this is okay. Like this is fun. I wouldn't mind this in the background. And just a fun movie.
So now what's interesting, almost unanimously consensus top 3 movies are your bottom 3. By average, the number 1 with a bullet is Fast 5. And then sort of behind that, but like, you know, still clearly in second place is Fast and Furious 6. And then the original. And then like behind that is Furious 7. Your 7, 8, and 9 are the 3, not only for our listeners, and we've gotten now 56 or something, or 52, 53, whatever sets of rankings. Like,
Yeah.
But I think across the board, people who like don't even know the show exists, I think 1, 5, and 6 are likely most people's top 3-ish, but they are your bottom 3. So
Well, given your experience with me watching these movies, I mean, are you surprised?
no, not at all.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'm just trying to lay the groundwork of how against type you are, but also on brand because you did not like these movies.
I didn't. Yeah, so next I have 5. I have 5.
Okay.
And then number 8 is 1, and number 9 is 6. And I'll tell you
6 is low. Yeah. Really low.
why 6 is really low is because as I was doing this list, I literally couldn't remember anything from 6.
World's longest runway, tank on the highway.
It all just
It's not a plane, it's a planet.
everything from 6 in my head. Either I just do not
Fake
remember.
Ronda Rousey.
Gina Carano, yeah, well, no, real
Ronda
actual fighter.
Rousey, yeah. And it just bleeds into the other movies in my head. And so I was like, well, clearly it didn't leave an impression,
That's fair. I
good
get
or
it.
bad. It can just go last.
You know,
makes
in
sense.
spite of all of this, we still have not broken. So every movie that we've done, of the 9 movies, there has been someone who has ranked it as their favorite, and there is someone who has ranked it dead last, except for 5. The worst, and this is even true before you, the worst somebody at 5 was 7. So like if you had put 5 below 7, it would have broken new ground. But like other people have had 6 in last place, surprisingly. Fast 5 still is the only one on this list that does not have a bottom 2 finish. So
Yeah.
That's interesting.
pretty good.
People love I mean, like, I love 5.
I do not.
But even still, like, you're like, it's not the worst of them.
No, it's not the worst. It definitely isn't the worst. There's stuff that was just a bit over the top for me.
Kind of the name of the game a little bit.
Truly, absolutely.
But the good news is you're done. You're done.
I'm not done.
Until September. September, you'll come back, assuming that this schedule goes as planned.
They don't push the movie
Mid-September.
back again. Yeah.
Is that when it comes out? September?
No, it comes out in June. But
Okay.
you're going to be on, when we talk about it for the 5th time, you'll be on Talking F9 with us.
Can I watch it before September?
Of course.
And if you want to come with us to see it in the theaters in June, you're more than welcome.
I do. Well, you said you weren't sure if you wanted me to, so I wasn't.
No, I
gonna
think
force.
that was if it was at home and like it's just me and you and Tyler. Like I needed an environment where like society says, Heather, you have to keep your mouth. You
No.
you cannot openly lambast this movie.
I wouldn't. I'm very respectful of that. Tyler, not so much, but like, he can't help himself.
Because when you asked me originally, this was before we had the Statham revelation.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, can I see it? And, like, you know, if it's on demand, like we can come down. And I'm like, oh, like I'm seeing a future where like I'm so excited and I'm watching this movie and you're like, look at this fucking asshole. Look at this fucking
Yeah,
Dom,
no,
why is Dom here? It's just like, oh. Okay.
I'm not that person in movies at all. I live tweet that stuff, but I don't say it.
I think that was where my fear came from. It was from your Twitter account.
A lot of people's fear comes from my Twitter account.
Well, thank you, Heather, for all lap, not just today,
No,
but for all
thanks.
lap long. This is 10, this
Seriously.
is really 11 episodes if you count the last thing. So
Yeah.
this has been an ongoing endeavor all the way back from whenever we kicked off this lap in January or February. So
yeah.
it's been crazy. So thank you.
No, thank you for having me. It's been a fun way to spend, this part of the
Pandemic.
quarantine. Yeah, and quite honestly, the only way I ever would have watched these movies. I never
now-
would have done it any other way. And now, yeah, it's a thing that I did and survived, and
You're going to see so much of this bleed into every ounce of pop culture everywhere now. I mean, as I'm sure you knew and imagined.
I don't consume pop culture.
Yeah? No? Was that a joke? I can't tell.
Definitely a joke.
Okay,
Not
yeah.
really, no.
You are pop culture.
But Heather, thank you once again. Now, what would you like to plug for the final time for now? Where do you want people to follow you? Where do you want people to find you? What work of yours is out there in the world that you want people to consume, to chase after, to do that thing?
You can follow me at Heather Antos on all of the things. I've been haven't been as active on all of the things recently because, as we talked about in the last episode, I recently started a new job.
Yeah.
Yes.
I am the editor at IDW now, where I oversee all things Star Wars and Marvel middle grade and YA comics. It's super great and a lot of fun, and already we're planning some crazy things. So please, if you have a Marvel or Star Wars fan in your young adult life, please check out our books. They're great.
Well, very, very cool. You heard it here first. If you like Star Wars or Marvel and you're between, like, what's the target? Like, is that like 8 to 13? What's the age range? Roughly?
Yeah, so like 8 to like 15, 16.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, great for adults too. You know, you're not going to get any decapitations or anything. Sorry.
Those young and young at heart.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Heather, once again.
Of course.
Joe, next week we're kicking off Lap 9 with The Fast and the Furious once again. Can you believe we're back at it?
Damn. I feel like I've seen that movie 70 million times at this point after the minute stuff. Like, whew.
I know. Between now and then, we got a bonus episode on Patreon for Ricky O, the story of Ricky. One more episode this lap. And then kicking off Lap 9, The Road to F9, our modern car movies lap with The Fast and the Furious. But for all things, Too Fast, Too Forever, you go to cageclub.me, facebook.com/TooFastTooForever, or at TooFastTooForever on Twitter and Instagram. Email us, family@cageclub.me. Check out our Patreon page at TooFastTooForever.com. Get that bonus episode about Ricky O, the story of Ricky, delivered to your feed. Get every episode early. Access to a bunch of things, swag and merchandise, and our undying love and affection, all from $1 a month at TooFastTooForever.com, TooFastTooForever.shop. Heather, now that you know all of our inside jokes, you can buy our dumb merch at TooFastTooForever.shop. We do not get a discount, so I cannot give you a discount because we don't even get one.
We don't.
But
we
go
do
over there.
not. Literally not.
They're on sale 3 or 4 times a month, so if you want to go over there, TooFastTooForever.shop. Come back next week for The Fast and the Furious as we kick off Lap 9, The Road to F9. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe too.
And that was Heather Antos, and we'll tell you all about it
When we see you again.